to show you guys my go-to glowy makeup. So the first thing that I'm gonna do with my makeup is I like my base to be super duper glowy and like not dry at all. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna use this moisturizer by Nivea. I'm gonna take this much because usually this is more than enough. Now that I've applied my moisturizer, I'm gonna use Vaseline. I have like this huge tub. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. So I'm gonna take around 2 pumps. I'm gonna apply it in my T-zones and my cheeks. So I'm gonna leave it for 30 seconds. You can see how sticky my base is and it's still glowy, and I like a glowy base. I've also noticed that people, like most people, don't damp their beauty blender. I personally cannot use a dry beauty blender, so yeah, so damp your beauty blender, and I haven't cleaned my beauty. So I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter. So this is in the shade 3. So I'm gonna use very little. And one other thing that I've noticed is, so these are all from personal experiences, right? If you use too much product, you also might see that sometimes the makeup breaks, and I feel like I didn't know it, and I used to apply like a large amount of product, and I used to think that I can probably blend it off and it'll be fine. So yeah, don't do it. So I'm gonna blend it. With the makeup is take kind of time, like it is a very slow process sometimes, like when it comes to blending and stuff. Like I am very impatient sometimes, and I blend it super quickly, and I'm like, oh, blend it properly, and then I can see that my concealer or like my makeup separates. And what you have to do is just make sure to blend it slowly and give it some time. And yeah, I feel like having a perfect base is so important, and the key for it is get prep. That's all I'm gonna say for now. What I usually use is like this Dior foundation. It's in the shade 2CR. It's a Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. I usually leave it at the e.l.f. Glow filter, but sometimes if I want a little more coverage, I will go with the Dior one. And I'm just going to use a dot for now because I really don't think I need that much coverage. So the next step that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to contour. So I usually go either with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I take the darker shade. You can take any darker shade. And for the Rare Beauty one, I do not have the shade in this. I'll probably link it down below. I'm gonna link down below every product that I use. I personally, if you're new to makeup, don't get this. Even though it's on the cheaper side, it's very hard to blend. Compared to the Rare Beauty, it blends like a dream. Honestly, it's so easy to blend. I got it on my 21st birthday, and I feel like this is the best purchase ever, and it's lasted me over 2 years. So I've been using it almost every day. So when it comes to blending your bronzer or contour, the one important thing that you need to ensure is when you're blending your neck, you need to make sure you're blending it all the way to your ear. Now I feel like my neck and my face are not matching. That's because of the light that's hitting. Usually in the sun or like in the natural light, they look very natural. So if you're wondering why, I like my bronzer or contour like a little prominent or like a little more visible on my cheek. I do know people who don't like the bronzer contour to be a little visible, but I kind of like it, so I keep it that way. So I'm gonna go with blush. So I do apply blush before concealer because I feel like it gives a much more cleaner finish. I'm using the Saie Beauty blush. I do like this blush because it's a little more easy to blend and easy to use. If you can never go wrong, you can always blend it out if you're using too much. So I'm gonna apply it over here, and I like to apply a little dot over here and on my forehead just to match the pinky shade or the blush shade, honestly. And yeah, like to blend out. I don't want to leave like a dot of pink over there, so do that in the beginning so it doesn't settle too much. Then blush. I think it's good to always raise your blush all the way up to your eyebrows because it kind of lifts your face. As you can see, it's more lifted than this one, so I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. So I'm gonna mix one more shade of blush. It's actually not a blush, it's a Kylie lipstick in the shade 808. So I really like this pink-ish nudish shade, and I kind of like to mix it. The thing with the Kylie lipstick that you're gonna use it as blush is it's very matte and you need to blend it super quickly. Me, and I like to wear blush in the summer, so obviously you can apply it according to your needs. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the MAC concealer right now. It's the 24-hour smooth concealer in the shade NC42. So when it comes to concealer, I apply a single dot. Trust me, you don't need more than this. The longer you leave for it to settle down, the more thicker the consistency becomes, and it's a little more high coverage. So I'm gonna apply some over here because of my hyperpigmentation. I'm gonna try to clean up a little the sides and the other way. To concealer, you can blend it 2 to 3 ways. The first one is using a makeup blender. The second option is obviously a brush, and the third option is a finger. So if you're a beginner and if you don't want to use your makeup blender or your brush, you can obviously start with using fingers. And if you are a little more comfortable with both makeup brush and the beauty blender, I would say if you have like a very thick concealer and you see a lot more creasing, try to go with the beauty blender or any blender because it kind of absorbs most of the makeup product, so it's gonna give you a little more natural finish. But if you think your concealer is not giving you a full coverage or the coverage that you need, you should probably go with a brush because it's gonna give you a lot more coverage when compared to the beauty blender. So yeah. And for my forehead, like it's a little big, and for the summer look I like it a little more bronzed. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take the Fit Me concealer, just a dot over here, dot over here. I do want to purchase the Charlotte Tilbury contour stick. I've been watching them all over my TikTok and YouTube. They're almost everywhere. Every influencer has them, and everyone has, not even just influencers. But I cannot get myself to spend $50, or I don't know how much I think they're $50 on the contour stick. Now that it's done, I'm gonna use a very tiny amount of powder over here because I kind of like some of my parts to be a little more matte. So I'm using the Fit Me powder in the shade 10 Fair Light. To ensure your base is nice and not cakey, you have to dab some of the powder off. What I'm gonna gonna do right now is I'm gonna go with an eyebrow pencil. You can go with any eyebrow pencil. Use the eyebrow gel. So both the eyebrow pencil and the eyebrow gel are from Essence. Filled. So I do not have super thick eyebrows, but yeah, I do like to keep them a little brushed up enough. I'm gonna go over with the brush once again. So now that the eyebrows are done, I am gonna go with the Makeup by Mario Kajal pencil. So now this is a brush side, so it's really easy to use because they have both the brush and the other side. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just bring out a tiny little wing on the end, the brush side, to bring out the wing. I like it a little smoky. So I'll tell you one little secret to get like a bigger lip. So I have like, I would say, yeah, so I have like a small to medium size lips, right? And I want to make it more plumper. So to make it more plumper and make it look a little natural, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my eyebrow pencil. Yeah, I'm gonna take my eyebrow pencil and I'm gonna like draw a line on my Cupid's bow, just a line. Right, and one right below here. And I'm gonna bring it on the natural lip liner, not above it. I'm not gonna increase because that's gonna make it look fake. You can take any lip shade of your choice. I am gonna take the Ilia lip in the shade Marcella, and yeah, they look a lot bigger and it looks a lot natural too. So usually even after this step I'm not satisfied with my blush, right? So I'm gonna take my Nars palette. It's in the shade Orgasm for Play. So I'm gonna mix all the shades except the highlighter. I'm gonna mix all the pink shades and I'm gonna focus more on the darker one because I really like it. And I'm gonna start pressing it. The key to having blush for a longer period of time is to make sure you're setting it with a powder blush, because a cream blush after some time you're gonna not see anything. So I'm gonna put a blush somewhere. As you can see, I love blush. Okay, so take the lightest shade of red. Okay, so now that I'm done with my blush, I really like to overdo my blush. I'm gonna go with the mascara. So I like the Essence for the fake mascara. You can hardly see it on the camera, but I feel like this is the kind of look that I usually go for, a little more natural. So I'm also gonna use a white kajal. And the next, I'm gonna use this white kajal. Yeah. And now I'm gonna try to apply a little more mascara. I usually like a very cute inner corner. So I'm gonna take the same Nars palette and I'm gonna take the highlighter shade. I'm gonna take a earbud or any brush that is like small enough to use it in your inner corner. You can do it, and I'm gonna place slightest amount over here, and just for the little. And I'm also gonna use it over here a little bit. I usually don't apply anything on my lids except the highlighter, because I feel like the hyperpigmentation acts as an eyeshadow base and a slight nose contour. So I don't like the dot and the line to touch, because then they don't give like a very nice illusion. And a little bit on the, now that it's done, all I'm gonna use is, like, I usually go with two lip glosses. So this is from Essence and this is a lip plumper slash lip gloss, and this is from Sephora and this is in the shade O2, Outrageous. So I think I'm feeling this. And I feel like maybe I'm gonna go for a very pinky look, and if I don't like it, I can go through the Sephora on. My everyday makeup look. This is my first YouTube video, so please make sure to like, share and subscribe, and let me know if you guys need any more vlogs or like more makeup videos. I can surely do that, and love you.